Okay, we've got this cartoon seagull. I thought he was about the cutest thing I've ever seen. And so I really wanted to start with the curve of his, from the neck down. And it's basically like a cylinder that you're looking at. And then we've got the bottom half of a circle for his body. And just make sure that you kind of divide the neck and the head and then the body in half, right? So the right side of his body is about equal to the left side where that neck hits. And then you just want a perfect, not perfect, but a good sized circle, the top of that head, and then the eye to the left is about the same size from top to bottom, and you're just looking at the very end curve. And then I'm just throwing in some feathers on the tail, make sure those legs are nice and long, and then they taper so that they look really thin. When they taper like that, they have the appearance that it feels a little bit longer. And once I'm happy with this shape, I'm going to just darken up my lines and make sure they're nice and strong. And I always think that looks, I always say confident. It just looks like you know what you're doing a little bit more than if you left him too messy and sketchy. Now, on the beak, he's got this really surprised, confused, dumb look on his face, and so we want to try and curve it slightly so it gives the idea that he's grinning, and make sure you pop the edge of that mouth, the beak, to the right of the eye. It ends about the same spot. The wings, I didn't talk about those when I was drawing him, but you know, it's just the slight curve that there's a wing there, and then to the left outside of the body, it just pops out just slightly. And I'm darkening those up now, adding a little bit of detail. And then the pupil. Now the pupil needs to be centered because you want him to look dazed. If I angled it to the left or the right, then it looks like he's looking at something. And so I like that, I don't know, just really dumb, dazed look on the face. And then the eyebrows come way off of the head. And then we're going to go in and just add a little bit more detail and shading. Now, I've been using two different types of lead on my pencil. So when I was sketching it, I was using a 0.7. And now to shade it, I'm using the 0.7 and then the 0.9 to get dark. And then sometimes I'll go back and forth between the 0.7 and the 0.9 when I get solid dark areas like the pupil, just because it gets a little grainy with the 0.9 because the lead's so soft that when I go in with that harder lead, it fills in sometimes you'll get some white speckles, and you don't really see it on the video, but they're there. And then you just give those little, I don't know, whiskery pokies everywhere, and that just makes them look more disheveled, which I love. When I'm shading, I try and go around the shape in that motion so it doesn't look scribbly and out of control. And that's about it.